What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are unboxing our box that we made. Look at it. Isn't it great? Look at those little cartoon.
Look at those guys.
Look at those cartoon nerds. So weird. So we actually got a chance to work with Darkhorse Tackle to put together a fishing subscription box. And before you say you've sold out and gone commercial, I want you guys to know that we make $0 off of this, as opposed to a box that we made in the past that we did get some commissions on. This is commission free. So this is just straight up passion in a box. This is stuff that we care about. Was that weird?
That was good. Passion in a box. Fire.
It's been known to happen every now and then. So we just put together a whole bunch of great American-made small business goodness in this box for y'all. And we are also going to offer you guys a discount code for this. $5 off. Use the code AAA5. If you see this unboxing, you're like, that looks good and you want it, go pick it up. Get your $5 off. We also just gave one of these away to our members. So if you want to see how you could maybe get some tackle, you can click the member join below button and see what that's all about too.
Because you could have gotten one of these boxes. And
you could have, but you missed out. Too bad.
Beep boop. I will.
Sorry.
And I will also say, if you are already subscribing to Darkhorse Tackle, you would have gotten this box in the December box month of your subscription automatically. So you're getting this no matter what, or if you want to join, it would be part of your subscription as well.
So what's in this box? Let's find out, Paul.
Scrambles.
All right, so here is the box. There's everything.
No,
Look at all.
Well, now it's on the floor.
All right, you guys, we're going to go bait by bait through this and give you just like a couple little tips of how we would be fishing this, what combos we'd be using for that, all that goodness. And we actually have 3 versions of this box. There are 5 total versions, and they all come with their own little individual color combinations.
Yes.
Which is pretty dang cool.
Now, this is why we have such a huge amount of appreciation for what Darkhorse is doing. Because one, they only pick businesses that are really on the tiny side, and
they have to be small.
They have to be small businesses. They're also choosing American-based businesses. So they're folks that made in the USA, supporting small businesses, which makes their lives very challenging. When you're a small business, you have like no time. So like we're literally putting out fires because these folks are just like strapped to the gills with work, and they're trying to jam in custom-made versions of all these baits that are custom-made just for this box.
So the amount of work that we put in was like this much. The amount of work that Darkhorse put in was like as much.
Yeah.
And the amount of work that the bait makers put in was like as much. So the Darkhorse boys, Josh and Zach there, they did all like the back end work. We basically said, here's what we'd like to see. And then they said, what about these guys? What about these guys? And we checked it out. There was a lot of testing involved.
Yes.
But yeah, they coordinated the orders, got the stuff in, put the hooks on themselves, like
to test every single thing. So you'll see a jerkbait here. They tested the jerkbait. You can see some of the footage. I will say we've never had this much support on making a box before. We've done this in the past. Jeff said it before. We made commissions, but this time we did not. And we've never had this much control. We got to basically say, here's the types of baits that we want for like December fishing specifically. They went out and were like, here's the company that does this, that, and the other thing. And we were like, well, we wanted these people. So they went and reached out to them. There was a lot of that. When they say carefully curated, that is an understatement to the max.
So off the top, what you're going to get in the box is you're going to get this little card there with those losers on it. On the inside, you get some other info. There's actually a QR code here that will go to, I believe, this video.
You're watching it right now.
Thanks for coming along. And then you got supporting Kayak Adventure series, actually. This is a decal from them. We got a chance to be a part of this with the crew and Drew Gregory this year. That was a great experience for me. Paul wasn't there.
It'll be great for me next year.
So maybe we'll go to that next year. And then there's all the baits included in this box and the brands and the cost and all of that. So that is pretty neat. And
fire!
We're including this in there. So we ordered a bunch of these, 250, I believe. Maybe 300, I don't know. So every box that comes out, if it's the first 250 ordered, should have this decal in it. That is our updated flip around and find out. So throw that on your kayak or truck or in the trash if you don't like it.
Well,
I love it. No, give me it back. All right, so we're going to alternate bait for bait here, and you guys get a chance to take a look at these. The jerk bait that we are including in this box is a 110 jerk bait. These are from A-Bay Lures. A-Bay. So here's a perch design. These all come with number 8 vector hooks on them, by the way. And they are a 4 to 6 foot diving suspending jerk bait with a rattle.
Now that was tested and confirmed. We wanted to make sure that you got the suspension you were looking for, not only from the blank, but also with the hooks included and all the hardware. So that would include the line tie.
So as you can see, it's a gorgeous looking jerkbait, but you also saw the footage of this thing in the tank. They test all this stuff out. So it's not just like they're saying, it's probably
suspending.
It's probably suspending.
It's confirmed. And all of these are custom done. Look at that bluegill. I'll be honest with you. This one's mine. There's no way I'm giving that up. What, are you joking? That is so well done.
All right, and then we do have one more color we can share with you guys, which is a sexy shed. A little bit muted, maybe matted even.
It's kind of sick.
Which is pretty gorgeous. This went into the giveaway box, so somebody got that.
Somebody got that schmiv to them.
Congrats.
And then all those patterns are ones that we said. It's like, here's the best patterns that we think will work across the country. We're a little bit biased, so you get the bluegill. But yeah, we got the sexy shad. We got all the stuff that we know all the way down to Texas that you guys like to see.
There's a killer crappie color.
Oh, dude,
whoever got that, I'm jealous.
If there's an extra, I want that one because it's fire. The other thing too is like, with a jerkbait like this works not only in the summertime, right? So this works in summer water for sure, but it hyper excels in clear water. Now, we like a suspending jerkbait. I feel like cold water for sure, which is why it's in the December box. A jerkbait like this one is a nice size too. This is not too big. It's not going to exclude fish that are in the north, and it's not going to not catch fish in the south. So when you're fishing a jerkbait, I want to see this on. I like a medium light rod.
Medium light or medium mod.
And I want to see at least a 7 foot. You want that softer action for these treble hook baits. And what you're going to do, you could do this on a bait caster too. If you're on a medium heavy, unless it's a moderate action, you're going to struggle. So I want to see that moderate action. But if you don't have one, grab a spinning rod. And what you're going to be doing, twitch, twitch, pause. The pause is when you're going to catch that fish, and messing around with the amount of twitching and the length of your pause is when you're going to find what those fish want to see.
Also, make sure that you have a fluorocarbon leader on this one. They get line shy with these jerkbaits. You want them to like draw in on that pause, and we don't want them to see the line. Fluorocarbon's invisible in the water, so fluorocarbon leader. And you win.
Now, they included a split ring on the front of this bait, so you don't need to use a loop knot. I prefer a loop knot if you don't get one, but they fix that problem for you. And as far as leader goes, with this type of bait, depending on how big the fish are in your area, I like to see on the low end a 6-pound fluoro leader. On the high end, 8, 10 is probably the max.
Go as light as you can.
Yep.
All right, so next up is a bait that we had a heck of a day on this summer. So nothing was working. Literally nothing was working. And we opted to nose hook with just any sort of drop shot or wacky hook that you can pick. We got this vector hook here. This is actually a saltwater. So it's a beast of a hook. It's a 1/0. You get a 6-pack of these. And all we did...
We argued for the 6-pack so hard, and we went back and forth on the hook size for like 3 days straight.
And then we pair it up with the Fish or Die. This is the Dagger, the 4-incher, because it's going to get some good bites. And all we did...
Can confirm, by the way. I went through a whole bag in 1 day. Just could not stop catching on it.
So we had a heck of a day on this one right here with some blue flake, which I believe is
one of the ones that's in there.
One of the 5 that we had, and they all have like the coolest names for colors.
They do. Yeah, in fact, that's right. That is one thing about Fish or Die. They're very presidential.
King George's wig is white.
This one is called Napalm Stretch. This is a crazy cool color. I've got other baits from Fish or Die in this color, but it's like a green pumpkin with purple flake, and it is gorgeous. The purple is not, I can't get enough light. You can kind of see it in the tail. It's fire. But this is how you're going to rig it up. So you're basically just going to nose hook it, and this is the whole deal.
This color is called Liberty Tree. It's watermelon. It's insane. So yeah, all we did, we put this on a medium light spinning setup.
That's right.
Nose hooked this bait.
This one is going in the schmid box. So whoever got this has one prepared. Also, watch your hands.
So we nose hooked this bait on the medium light spinning setup with a fluorocarbon leader. We were going as light as we could, 6 or 8 pound test fluorocarbon leader.
Height of summer.
And we're the height like dog days of summer, right? So it's hot. And all we did, we were pitching this up into cover, under cover, wherever we possibly could. And
a lot of docks.
Let it sit and then twitch and then let it sit. With this length, it's easy to skip, right? So like a longer fluke.
So high. It was was like having the BSC, the best skipper ever. You looked that good. This is the only bait that's like that close where you do look like
free.
a pro.
And that's with 6 in a bag, 30 fish. I mean, that's pretty fair.
Oh, easily.
Five for plastic average, that's good.
And I would tell you right now, this is one of like the reason we put this in there is because yes, it can work in the winter. Yes, it can work in the summer. There's no bad time to run a weightless fluke. Like, you're gonna be okay. The dagger did great for us. It's a small company. We wanted to get it out to you guys so you can have a ton of fun.
Also, bonus tip, nose hooking your plastic flukes gives it a lot more action than if you were to use like an EWG.
It's not even close.
It's not even close. Also, I want to point this out. There is a handwritten note. I'm not kidding. These aren't printed. We can prove it. Here's a couple of them. They wrote one specifically for us.
And that's the one for you.
Yeah.
They're the same.
They are different, every single one, and we looked at the giveaway box too. They're all different. So Zach and Josh, I think specifically Zach is writing these.
Zach seems like he gets his hands dirty. He's getting in there.
So they're handwriting all of these. That's a lot of notes. I don't know about you guys, but like when I had to write thank you cards at my wedding,
I still have carpal tunnel.
I hated it so much. And I want to point out this for any haters in the comments. Yeah, you guys really know what you're talking about when it comes to fishing.
Nah, they lied. They threw that in there for us. Thank you.
I told them to put that in there.
Yeah, maybe you put this in my note.
Next up, 2 really cool companies that we've had baits from in the past. JigMasters, you guys might remember, I actually did a whole video on their buzz bait. So I like the products these guys are putting out. This is their underspin, 2 to a pack here.
Oh, you mean this buzz bait right here?
That buzz bait.
How about that?
That buzz bait is so awesome.
It is fire.
Love that. So their underspin, fantastic as well. Those are going to be 5 different color patterns, including different blade colors. So we've got gold and silver, green pumpkin, black and silver heads to those.
So this is the
and a white one, I think, too.
Yep, this is the silver. So there's like black and gold, silver, all kinds of but they're all meant to go with the plastics. So I have the silver, and that is mixing up with this Swampro Lures paddle tail. And this is their cumulus color. So I won't wreck this one because it's supposed to be for me. There's the green pumpkin gold, which is fire. But that's going to be your combo right there. So this is your plastic / jig head. That absolutely is going to get bit. This cumulus color is one of the coolest ones of the bunch that I saw. And this one's going to be hard. I'm not giving this one up. This one is for me.
So how you're going to rig this is you're going to thread on your plastic there, get up to this screw lock head there, and then you're just going to twist it around. The tail will actually kick over the hook.
And then this is the black and blue. Now, a black and blue for me is a must-have. If you're a dark water angler, like, you gotta have the dark color, and a lot of people forget to do black. And black and blue is fire.
Can't go wrong.
But you get the black here with the silver blade, so that's gonna give you a little bit of flash to draw the fish in that dark water, but the black is gonna make the silhouette that will also be like, yo, there's something there. It really cuts down on how close you have to get to the fish, which means you're drawing fish in from further away.
You fish these around cover anytime you got fish chasing moving baits. So it's got that flash. It's going to look like any bait fish in your waters because you're just kind of burning it along. You can change up the retrieve speed depending on what fish are chasing or keying in on. So just kind of pay attention to the bite. But when they are chasing, this and like a tailspin are like fantastic options at those times. So you can see Paul is just spinning it to thread it onto the screw. Super easy to do. You don't destroy your plastic doing this. You just got to watch that tail. So as long as you measured that out correctly, you will end up like this.
Bingo, bongo, baby,
Gorgeous.
way to go.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, this is like Jeff was talking about earlier, when the fish are chasing something, or even when they're not, if they're just looking for a meal, this is unbelievable. You will get bit so often, and one of the best techniques that we found for cold water is an underspin. An underspin is a crusher for cold water. So if you're a December fisherman in Georgia, this is going to be like prime time for you right now. If you're getting this in Michigan, you're probably going to want to wait till February.
But then it'll work.
But in February, it is going to be the juice.
This and a tailspin are my go-tos in those cold water
situations.
situations.
No question at all.
So we do have this in the 2.8 inch. It is a 10-pack. And we do have one custom color, which I just showed you. It's the Chartreuse, y'all. So we've been talking about this color forever. And what you're getting with this is you are getting the copper and black flake, which is awesome. You got the Chartreuse split with the green pumpkin mix there. This is going to be killer in all water situations, but it does excel in stained water. And I'm just so happy that Swampro Lures was cool enough to make this custom color with us and call it by the right name. Chartreuse, baby.
Now, we talked about custom colors. All of these combos between the blade and the head colors and even the size are made to match that 2.8. So all of these color combos that you got we talked about carefully curated.
Yep.
We picked these to go together.
It came down to the shank length.
It sure heckin' did.
We had a different underspin we were almost going to use, but then the hook shank was too long.
And we were like,
it didn't
fire,
work with the
get
Swamp
out of
Pro.
here.
So we ended up with this, which is even better. So this being another kind of finessey tactic, you can't go wrong with like a medium light with this. You don't really need to worry about the moderate action because it's not a treble bait. So you go with the fast action, you're going to be fine. And I love to throw this on bait casting setups because I want to burn it sometimes. And I want a little more control of my speed and line retrieve. I just find it easier to fish with and more fun, in my opinion, to fish with on a bait caster. So bomb it out there, burn it back in. If they're not chasing it fast enough, if they're not keying in on it quick enough, slow it down a little bit. You can slow that retrieve, vary it up. You can even hop this on the bottom, skip it along docks, run it under the docks, all of that. These are all kind of designed to fish in a similar way, and they put you all over the water column, which is really where it comes in handy.
For December fishing.
Yeah. So last up, we've got 2 more brands here. So one we encountered because we got a box from these guys and got a chance to really test these jigs out. They've been fantastic, but that's Bassdozer lures. And we're going to pair that up with this little chunk right here, the Blue Rock custom tackle chunk, which comes with 6 to a bag.
If you've not fished a chunk bait before, it's a really cool way to actually set up a jig. So it gives you a lot of action with the claw area. I'll show you in a second. It also is way easier to rig than like your standard baits because you don't have to thread it all the way on. It's like you're just threading on this like little chunky section, and it really is a lot easier.
Paul's going to show you how it threads on. So you can thread it on like you would with any standard plastic. The other option that you have with chunk baits that works really well is that you can just hang it. So you just stab it right through the middle and let it hang. So that'll give you a little more length, if you will.
Everyone likes a little extra length.
If you thread it, it's going to be a little bit more compact.
You're just going to thread it on like so. And that is going to be your presentation. Just like that. So super easy, but we talked about the action that you're getting. So the skirt is hiding that little bit of a gap. But look, when you're in the water, you're getting a ton of action because there's just a lot less body threaded into the hook. Just like we talked about with the nose hook, same concept. That doesn't look fire.
That's so good.
Look at that combo. Are you freaking kidding me? So that's awesome.
Paul got the bluegill box. I got the perch box. I did end up with Shark Deuce, which nice.
Hey.
Thanks, Zach and Josh. And then you got this color that I had here, the Chernobyl, which is the chartreuse green pumpkin. It's almost like these guys know us.
Yes,
at this point.
Bassdozer has become like when people are like, hey, what finesse jig should I get? Like there's only 2 or 3 options that I recommend to people. And Bassdozer has become one of them because I think they're just super high quality. The colors are done really well. And they fish really good.
And they are hand tied there. I want to make note.
Big
and
deal.
Plenty of skirt material too. They don't skimp on the skirt. Here is a blue, brown, and black color, which is freaking juice.
And then you pair that with the green pumpkin blue flake. Fire.
Let's go.
Now, as far as fishing this one, there's no wrong way to fish this. It's gonna, because of the shape of the jig, it's gonna work really well on gravel and rock, but it's also gonna do pretty well with some mild cover. Now, you're gonna have a lot less cover in the wintertime because less oxygen to the water. That means less vegetation. But put this right on that weed line and you're still gonna get bit, but it's gonna do its best work on hard bottom. So right where it's transitioning, cast the thing out there, hop it along the bottom, and then just work on your dead stick. And it's gonna be, you're gonna get bit eventually.
You will get annihilated.
So as far as setup goes, I want to see likely a medium, and then fast action is great for a jig.
Any jig bite is
any
fast
jig
action.
bite, yeah, you're going to be fast action. But I think the medium's the way to go. Again, either straight fluoro or that fluorocarbon leader. This one I think you could upgrade from either an 8, go all the way up to 12 at the absolute most. Just my opinion, especially in the clear water, because you're going to be setting the hook pretty good. But it is still, it's finessey, so finesse-y-ish.
So there you have it, guys. That is the wow. Oh no! That is the aggressively average Christmas box. This is the Darkhorse December box. If you're already subscribed, you're already getting this. If you aren't subscribed, what are you doing? Go get it. AAA 5, AAA 5 gets you $5 off. So, I mean, at least subscribe for this month just so Zach and Josh can be like, you guys are cool or whatever.
Or no, we don't care. Just go get the box that works for you.
Again, we don't get paid for this one. We just did this for the passion of fishing. It was a blast, and it was great working with the guys over at Darkhorse. So, big shout out to them. Thank you for putting up with us. And I will say, sorry for all the billions of text messages that went back and forth. Although I mostly blamed Zach for that.
I feel like he's got that
in the
idle,
fishing industry.
I feel like he's got that idle hand situation. Like if that boy isn't tying a jig, he's texting me.
Is everything okay? What fires am I putting out today?
Like,
yeah, the guy's on top of stuff. So appreciate those guys. This was a blast to do. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and maybe you enjoy the box. And we'll catch you on the next one. Okay, bye.